Hey, what's up, Jack, Dale, and Jabril, and everyone else in the world? It's Matt, and I'm walking around outside my house because I feel like I never want to be filming one of these in the same spot twice. Anyway, let's get you seated, and then I'll start telling you what's on my mind for today. This seems like a good spot. Alright, that should be good. There's a decent amount of sound going on right now. Hopefully it's not annoying, but if it is, I'll try to keep this quick. So this video comes in 3 short parts. The first is basically thoughts on a blog post from the blog WaitButWhy by Tim Urban. I've talked about it a couple times on Conjecture. Pretty awesome. Check it out. He talks about cryogenics, which is basically freezing dead people and attempting to resuscitate them later. One of the first things the post talks about is our idea of death. We typically perceive it as you're living, and then boom, all of a sudden you're dead. It's a instantaneous process. There's a certain point that you hit and you're dead. But based on the way our definitions of death have changed throughout culture, we don't exactly know where that point really is. 500 years ago, if someone stopped breathing, we would have considered them dead, whereas nowadays we know that they're not yet dead. And 50 years ago, if someone's heart stopped beating, we would have considered them dead, but nowadays they have around 6-ish minutes or so until we would consider them dead. So by that logic, it makes... Oh my god, these bugs are eating me alive, and I just found one on my ear. So while it might seem right now to us that death is a very clear and straightforward thing, oh yeah, that person died, 50 years in the future, people might look back at us and say, wow, they let a lot of people die unnecessarily because they just didn't know enough to save them. As Tim from WaitButWhy phrases it, death is more like doomed under the present medical knowledge and circumstances. And that might be the same as actual death, but it might not. We have to wait and see what we can discover and learn and do. I am rushing this so much because of these gnats. Alright, that's the last time I'm going to mention this. Next thing, part 2. All of us are doing this channel together, right? Dale, Jack, Jabril, and myself. And I want it to, obviously it's really cool to get to work with each other and to make videos and put them all on the same channel, but I want us to do something together too. We do have live hangouts planned, but I don't know, I guess I'd be fine with us uploading videos to this channel totally individually of one another, but I feel like, what's the point of that? We don't have to collaborate to a ridiculous extent, but it would just be cool to do something to build off one another every now and then. And the 3 of you can suggest ideas, everyone else commenting on this can suggest ideas. So in that vein, I'm just gonna say that, Dale, I really liked your video from last week, and I don't know, I just never saw, I haven't really seen you on YouTube in that little storyteller context. And I also like how you put funny in the parentheses, so it's kind of like someone can go to this video and go, okay, I'm expecting to laugh. You should have put something like, how I was attacked by a drug dealer. Sad. Depressing. Yeah, something like that. Okay, so that was part 2. We should collaborate more, and Dale, I loved your story. Part 3 is I'm gonna show you a video I just made for my family recently. So my family, a lot of us came from Italy originally. My grandparents on my mother's side were both born in Italy, and they used to make wine all the time. So we still do that. Part of as a passed down the tradition thing, but also partially we want to make wine. So I did that in the fall of 2015, and I made a video documenting how it was done, so I thought I would share that with you. Hello and welcome to the Mignonia d'Orazio winemaking tutorial. Today we're going to cover how to make a sweet wine native to the Abruzzo region of Italy. For starters, you're going to need everything you see here. These containers of grape juice, the wine barrel and funnel, and an old vintage car in the background. That one's very important. You're also going to need a massive pot which you can heat underneath, like this setup right here. So we're going to light a fire underneath the pot and pour the grape juice into it. What we're trying to do is boil away all the water so that we're left with just the sugar from the grape juice. It's going to take a long time for all the water to boil away, so just keep stirring it so that nothing gets stagnant or stuck anywhere. Wait time may necessitate creative play. Now, once the grape juice has been in there long enough, and assuming the fire is hot enough, you'll eventually start to see the purplish, clearish grape juice turn into this red, orange, rusty colored liquid. That's the sweet stuff we want. Once you get this, stir it around for a little more until you get it to a really good color, and then take it off the fire. Now at this point, while that's cooling down, let's take the grape juice we have left over and pour that into the wine barrels. If we just did this and let the grape juice sit in the barrels by itself for about a year, we would eventually get wine. But what makes this wine special and sweet is that we're going to pour the sugary remains of that grape juice into these same barrels. After that, seal them up, come back in a year, and enjoy your wine. And we haven't tasted it yet, so we will update this when we know how it went.
We shouldn't be stirring a lot.
No,
Yes.
this is the point where
This
you
is the
do
point where
need
you have to
stir
stir a lot because it's very concentrated.
Yeah.
And
It could burn.
it'll burn.
Is this informational? But I should.
You're getting here.